Kristen Welker, she got Republican Senator Lindsey Graham into a moronic, unhinged, warmongering rant that you have got to hear. But within this rant, there's something that one has got to realize, that in the examples that he uses, it shows you that he considers some people the other. Some people's lives don't have much value. So annihilating them for your win, your better good is okay. This is from these guys that like to talk about it as if they are the party of life, the party that believes in humanity, the party that believes in the sanctity of life. Yet they are a warmongering bunch that sadly are nothing more than the masters of death. I want you to listen to Lindsey Graham here. I mean, Welker brought up a very important point. Check this out. We'll take it on the other side.
President Biden is not the first president to use arms shipments to try to influence Israeli policy. As you know, former President Ronald Reagan on multiple occasions withheld weapons to impact Israel's military actions. Did President Reagan show that using U.S. military aid as leverage can actually be an effective way to rein in and impact Israel's policy?
When you're telling the world you're going to restrict weapons delivery to the Jewish state who is fighting a three-front war for their survival, it emboldens Iran. It emboldens Hamas. Sinwar is probably juiced up on the idea there's daylight between the United States and Israel. The hostage deal is harder. This is the worst decision in the history of the U.S.-Israel relationship to deny weapons at a time the Jewish state could be destroyed. So here's what I would say. There is some hope we can get over this. Non-negotiable, the destruction of Hamas. Nobody in Israel will allow Hamas to be standing militarily or politically when this is over. How we get there is subject to negotiation. My problem is not with the weapons that Israel is using. My problem is with the tactics that Hamas is using and the idea that America would not send a nickel of aid, echoed by a United States senator when all the Jews are trying to be killed by radical Islamic groups, tells us where we're at as a nation. The Republican Party is with Israel without apology.
Well, historians would say, why is it okay for Reagan to do it and not President Biden? But let me ask you about
why is it okay?
Deal.
Well, can I say this? Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to end their existential threat war? Why was it okay for us to do that? I thought it was okay. To Israel, do whatever you have to do to survive as a Jewish state.
Senator, again, military officials say the technology has changed. But let me ask you about how all
these
of this
military officials that you're talking about
let me ask you something.
Full of crap.
Yes, many times Ronald Reagan used his leverage over Israel to get Israel to not do the silly things that similar to what it's doing right now, which is a genocide against the Palestinians. But here is the interesting thing, right? Notice how he was unhinged. Why? Because he had to be shown he was inconsistent. He cannot speak ill of Reagan, so he masks that with exploding and making it's okay for us to have killed hundreds of thousands with 2 nuclear bombs. And by the way, those guys who say otherwise are full of crap. Those guys who believe in humanity are full of crap. No, Lindsey Graham, it is you who are full of that, because it is you who don't value the sanctity of life. It is you who hypocritically want to prevent a woman from doing whatever she wants with her own body. It's hers. But you want to go ahead and murder children with bombs that all of us indirectly, unwillingly have paid for. You are the one who want to see a whole lot of dead babies in the streets. You are the ones who don't see the value in those dead men, women, and children you say that are hiding, Hamas is hiding behind. Well, if we were to go ahead and put your family behind a bunch of thugs here in America, would you be okay if the police gunned them down because the thugs are hiding behind your family? I don't think so. The hypocrisy, the warmongering, your inhumanity, the inhumanity of those people that are in your same cabal. America, you can do better. These guys are putting all of us at risk because they're creating terrorists.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.